Here we go. And extension 1, or external bit 1. Time is deficient, there's not enough time. Narrantem, this is in the accusative. So the guy doing it's narrating the domestic things. Since Imperium Nostrum, our empire, not so much by its robor, its strength of body, corporum's the genitive body, then from its vigor of mind. Okay, so we're contrasting robor and vigor by these. So our empire comprendets, it takes its incrementum, it's the increasing of the empire, and its tutelum, and it's the safety of it as well. Not so much from the strength of the body as from the vigor or strength of its mind. Maior itaque, so itaque means and so accordingly. Roman prudentia, I'm just coughing a bit here. Roman wisdom is prudentia, from the great part, or the bigger part of it. In silent admiration, in admiration tacita, which means being quiet, let it be reponented, or you might want to say seponented, would mean set aside, or deponented would mean placed down. So we're talking about Roman wisdom, for the great most part. Let's put it aside, and it looks like, from the end there, the approach, the aditus, detour, is given of this type of example, alien agonist. Alien agonist means people who are agonist, which means born from alien part. So it looks like they're setting aside the Roman examples and going now to foreign examples. Socrates, of human wisdom, as if, okay, so oraculum is a neuter, so a certain type of terrestrial oracle of human wisdom. So that's what Socrates is. Socrates is as if he's a certain earthly, I would say, for terrestrial type of human wisdom, an oracle of it. He was thinking, he was arbitraring, nothing, ultra, beyond or so should be petendum, another present participle, nothing should be sought from the immortal gods other than, nothing other than, that they distribute bona, which is neuter plural, they distribute good things, I'm guessing to us, because they, that's the II, one of the variants there, finally, or in short, they know what is utile, what is useful to one, kui and uni are there, taking this utile bit. So they know what is good to each one, you might want to say. And however or moreover, with the autem, we plerumque, we are generally, we expeteramus, we demand or want things in our votuses, which are our vows or our prayers, so we're the things that we're asking from the gods. What would not be better if we received it in petrase, it means you've asked for something and received it. Etenam, for also, or in fact, in a most dense tenebrous, probably like a darkness, the mind of mortals, that's the genitive, the mind is involted, so that the mind is involved or wrapped up in very dense darkness, in which late, that's the adverb meaning far and wide or widely, caecas patentem errorum. Okay, so looks like being blind, wandering in open wandering or something. That's what error means, to wander or be a bit of a vagrant. Par sparsis, you sprinkle out your precation. So the mind of mortals wrapped up in darkness, and you spread out your precations, your prayers very widely, late, blindly wandering about in error or something like that. Divitias ad petis, so ad petis is you seek, divitias, which are riches, qua is the relative pronoun, which are the exito, which is like the destruction or the end for many people, multus. Concupiscus, you desire, you concupisco, honours, this would probably be offices, which complures, many of the times, dederunt, give pessum. Pessum means thrown down to the bottom, which is you get verbs like pessum do. Pessum just means the worst outcome. So it's comparing like riches here and honours and high office, etc. Regna tecum ipso volvis. So you wish yourself to be many kingdoms with you. Kingdoms neuter plural there. So you want to be maybe controlling many kingdoms, quorum of which are the exodus, another destruction sort of thing, the outcome. Sapi numerae, often these are joined together, looks like there's a space in this translation, which means often sapia numerae means very often times which are cernatur or seen to be wretchedness. So the destruction or the end of having all these kingdoms can turn out miserable. What do we got? Your hand, your manus, in Yikis usually means to be injected or sewing hands with, but it's not referring to battle here. It's with splendid conjuxes. So into very splendid marriages you've entered your hands, but there's a but. At is but. So haik, that would be these marriages. Eloquendo means sometimes, as sometimes they illustrate. These marriages sometimes shine bright, you might want to say, or turn out well. But we've got ut and ita as correlatives. Thus, non numquam, which means not never, so sometimes again, so eloquendo means sometimes, and non numquam means sometimes. They overturn the house, the domos, domoses, fundatus, that's an adverb. Basically to the bottom, if looks like people think they're entering a splendid marriage, and sometimes they are, but sometimes it overturns a house completely. Design, it's a imperative singular. Icator, therefore, so therefore, desist from stulta, the stupidness of future evils. What are we talking about? Tuorum of your stupid evils, in causes or something, as if you are, in hiare means you're gaping your mouth open, so with you gaping your mouth open as if in felicimus rebuses, so take rebus as circumstances, so you're standing there with your mouth gaped open, being amazed at the stupidness of future troubles which might come, as if they're going to be very lucky. Felicimus means it's a superlative of being very good. And there's the qui bit. The whole celestium, this is the whole heavenly bodies or something, permit. So you need to desist from doing this, and you need to permit the arbitritio of the celestial being. So give everything into the hands of the gods, basically it's saying, and here's a queer, because those who can distribute these good things, I think we've seen that little phrase before, easily or readily at hand, who are accustomed to do this, even they, possant, are able to pick the most apt thing. So yeah, don't stand there with your mouth open gaping about stupid things that might come in the future. Leave it up to the gods, and they will choose the most suitable thing for you. Idem, it's a pronoun for the same guy. An expedited, so it's unencumbered, and a compendaria, that means, it usually means a shortcut, and there's via. So the expedited and shortcut way, so Idem was saying, Socrates was saying that the easiest way for those to pervenere ad gloriam, again pervenere is the verb that takes in or ad, so the easiest way to get to glory for those who agoret id, for those who do this, that qualas of the type that they want to be seen, videre is the passive infinitive, qualas tales, we have correlatives. So the type that you want to be seen, such even you should essent, you should be. It's one short little sentence there. The shortcut to Gloria is the way you want to be seen, act as thus. Qua quidam, take it as which indeed he would monobat. So he was warning, apertly means openly, dication means in words, and pray usually means in front. So he was giving warnings in advance, openly, that homines, which are men, potius is rather, they ought to draw in, usually means to drink, sometimes it's used of breathing even, they should draw in virtue itself than to consectare, usually means to follow or pursue the umbrem eius. Men ought to drink in virtue rather than follow the shadow of virtue, I guess that's what it's saying. Scroll a bit. Idem, same guy. Socrates, when he was consulted by a certain adolescent, quote him certain. Here we have a utrum, a question whether he should duceret. That's the subjunctive, whether he should duxer an ux, or whether he should marry a wife. And here's the or should he abstain himself, to say, from all matrimony. Looks like idem, Socrates has responded. Utrum, which of these, which you facissit, which of the two which he did, this man did, he would have regret, paenitiam. He would be regretting of this action which he would take. So it looks like a direct quote here from Socrates. Hinc, on the one hand, he said, inquitted, you will have solitude. This would be if you didn't marry. Hinc, you'd be orbitas. Usually means you're bereft of children or family. Interitus of your generis. This would be the burial of your line, basically. You'd have no offspring. Here he would receive alien heirs. So when you died, you just have to give foreigners any inheritance. Illinc, on the contrary, its correlative, would be perpetual solicitudo. Well, this one had solitude, and this one has solicitudo, which is anxiety. There would be a woven contextus of querulums, which are complaints. So this is what the anxieties would be with a wife. You'd have a lot of complaints. It'd be exprobriatio. This is like reproaches for the dowry. The dos dotus is the dowry. Here would be the neuter, the grave supercilium, the serious eyebrow of your in-laws, ad finums, these people you're related to by marriage. You would have a garrulus, which means a chatty sort of tongue of the Socrates, which would be the mother-in-law. A subsessor, as you can tell from this noun, it's someone who follows. Matrimonialia, so it was maybe an adulteress or something. The tongue of the mother-in-law, is saying your wife or your mother-in-law follows other people's marriages. You'd be uncertain, incertus, of the eventus of children, of the outcome, whether there would be liborums or not, which are uncertain of whether there'd be children. Okay, so here's Lewis in short. A subsessor, a waylayer, a liar in wait. I've clicked on something. So we've got the subsessor of another's matrimony. Here is this example from Valerius Maximus. It's also subsessor persona adulterae as well, so you get a bit of an idea of what that was all about. Non-passus, so Socrates wouldn't allow the euvenum, double U there instead of having a V, in the context of things, the asperator, that's the harshness or bitterness, as if this was of this happy material to make him dialectum. So we didn't allow the young man in this context of harsh things to think of things which would be happy material in the marriage or something delightful, dialectum there. Idem, the same guy, Socrates, when the dementia scelerata, so this is the criminal madness of the Athenians, tules eded tristem de capitius centennium, when he used to have a sad opinion concerning his head, so he's about to die, and with a forti animo, with a brave mind and a constanti vultu, another case where they're using U's instead of E's, so with a constant face and with a brave mind, he accepted the potion veneno, which is venom or poison, from the menu, from the hand of the carnificus, which is the executioner. You can tell from carna where you get meat from, so he's someone who butchers people. With the admoto poculo, so with the cup moved, yam already, or now to his labris, which is his lips, with his uxor zipanthe, so Socrates must have been married to someone called Zipanthe, into her fletums, between her crying and her lamenting, vocare forante, that's the ablative version. Periturum, he's about to die innocent. What then, he said? Is it more preferable, satius esse, mori, to die with me being guilty, duxisti, do you think? So his wife's crying because he's going to die innocent, and he says, what would you prefer if I was dying nocenti, as someone who was guilty? Mensa millim sapientium, blah blah blah, huge amount of wisdom. So ne quidem usually has one word in between it, but got in ipso between it. So not even in his excessu, when he's about to excess or leave from his life, was he able to be oblivious score? Was he able to be forgetful of himself? So he was still being a bit of a philosopher when he was dying. So here it goes, yeah. In ipso, in the very leaving of life itself, he was able to think of himself. There's quae for the relative as well. That's it for the day.